The octopus is more than a sea creature. It's a shock to human intuition. A spineless, solitary animal living on the ocean floor. Yet it can open jars, solve puzzles, escape tanks, and even plan for dangers that haven't happened yet. You might laugh seeing an octopus carry a coconut shell across the seafloor, but behind that seemingly silly act lies a type of thinking that leaves scientists stunned. The ability to imagine the future and prepare for it. Even more incredible, the octopus is not a mammal, not a bird, and only a distant relative of snails and clams. A short-lived, solitary mollusk, yet it possesses flexible, adaptive, and creative intelligence. Just one small action can make us question everything. What is true intelligence? And does it have to look like ours? If you thought you understood intelligence in nature, this journey will make you question it all. Comment 1 if you're ready to explore the strange, amazing world of the octopus. If there's one truth that could shake the very foundation of modern biology, it's this: intelligence did not evolve just once. Throughout the history of life on Earth, it has appeared at least twice independently, once along the branch leading to humans, and once more, quietly yet astonishingly, in the world of cephalopods. At the center of this shock stands the octopus. Pause for a moment and think. The octopus has no spine, no centralized mammal-style brain, no complex society to train its intelligence through interaction. And yet, it solves problems, remembers, learns, and even plans for the future. This completely overturns the long-held assumption that advanced intelligence can only arise in social species like primates, dolphins, or crows. What leaves scientists truly stunned is not that the octopus is smart, but how it is smart. Human intelligence is built around a single, central powerhouse brain. The octopus has none. 2/3 of its neurons are scattered across its 8 arms, mini-brains, capable of independent decision-making. This is not a simpler version of human intelligence. It is a completely different architecture, a parallel evolutionary path that defies imagination. If intelligence can emerge in such radically different ways, then what really defines smart? And if Earth has produced 2 entirely unrelated forms of intelligence, how many more might exist in the universe that we cannot yet recognize? Comment 1 if you believe the octopus proves intelligence can exist beyond the human mold. Comment 0 if you still think intelligence should only look like us. If the last part made you question how intelligence can evolve along 2 separate paths, this next revelation will challenge the very idea of the brain itself. For the octopus, the brain is not just in the head. It is distributed, decentralized, and works in ways traditional biology never predicted. An octopus has hundreds of millions of neurons, roughly the same number as a dog. But here's the shocking part. More than 2/3 of those neurons aren't in the central brain. They're in its 8 arms. Each arm contains clusters of nerve cells that can process information, make decisions, and control behavior independently. In other words, each arm is a local brain, capable of thinking, reacting, and learning without waiting for instructions from the central brain. Experiments show that a detached octopus arm can still sense, explore, and avoid unpleasant stimuli even without being connected to the main brain. This is not just strange, it's astonishing and even a little eerie. It forces us to ask, if a part of the body can think, where does the brain end and the body begin? This structure is no accident. Octopuses hunt in dark crevices where eyes can't see. Their arms must decide, Is this food, a threat, or just an inert rock? If every signal had to go to the brain, the delay could mean death. Their intelligence is distributed, optimized for speed and survival. And if the brain is no longer centralized, the next question is unavoidable. If thinking works differently, how alien must an octopus's perception of the world be? To answer that, we must dive even deeper into a new level of awareness, a place where senses and perception follow rules unlike anything we know. If the octopus's distributed brain made thinking a slippery concept, its perception of the world pushes that idea even further into a realm almost alien to human experience. The octopus doesn't just see the world, it tastes, touches, and senses it all at once in ways we can barely imagine. Each of its arms is covered in hundreds of suckers, and each sucker is packed with chemical receptors. That means when an octopus touches something, it tastes it at the same time. For us, taste lives in the mouth, and touch lives in the skin. For the octopus, these senses merge. Its world isn't just shaped, it is flavored. Its vision is just as extraordinary. The octopus's eyes are structured almost exactly like human eyes, a rare case of convergent evolution. But unlike us, octopuses have no blind spot. Their photoreceptor cells point straight at incoming light, and the nerves lie behind the retina. In other words, a design that's arguably more perfect than the human eye. Here's the greatest paradox. Evidence shows octopuses are almost colorblind, yet they can camouflage with terrifying precision. The secret lies in their skin. Octopus skin contains light-sensitive proteins, opsins, similar to those in the eye. This suggests the skin itself can see light directly, reacting without input from the brain. The world of an octopus isn't built from images like ours. It is a distributed network of perception, where eyes, skin, and arms all contribute to awareness. And when sensing works this way, controlling its body, especially its incredible shape-shifting, follows rules entirely different from anything we know in nature. If the way an octopus senses the world is astonishing, what it does with its own body truly shatters every limit of biology. Camouflage in the octopus isn't just changing color. It's a complex biological control system that modern science still cannot fully replicate. And the most incredible part, it happens in an instant. Beneath its soft skin are 3 layers working together. On top are chromatophores, tiny pigment sacs of red, yellow, brown, and black. Each sac is surrounded by dozens of muscles. When the muscles contract, the pigment spreads like a parachute and the color appears. When the muscles relax, the color disappears. No slow chemistry, no simple reflex. This is mechanical motion, directly controlled by the nervous system. Beneath that are iridophores, light-reflecting cells that produce shimmering blues and greens. Deeper still are leucophores, scattering white light. Together, these 3 layers let the octopus not only change color, but adjust brightness, sheen, and depth across its skin. But color alone isn't enough. The natural world isn't flat. That's why the octopus also has a network of muscles called papillae, allowing its skin to rise into spikes, ridges, or folds, mimicking rocks, coral, or seaweed in a fraction of a second. It doesn't just look like its surroundings, it becomes its surroundings. Scientists are puzzled by this question. Is the octopus consciously choosing its camouflage, or does its body react automatically to the environment without thought? Evidence suggests a strange blend of high-level decision-making and automatic execution, a type of intelligence somewhere between reflex and awareness. And when a creature can transform its body faster than we can think, the next question is inevitable. What controls this extraordinary system? The answer takes us deeper into the octopus's world of perception and behavior, where the line between play and thought begins to blur. Watching an octopus change color, shift shape, and vanish into its surroundings in the blink of an eye raises an unavoidable question. Who is really in control? This isn't just a biological puzzle, it strikes at the very nature of consciousness. Is the octopus thinking? Or is its body simply following unconscious biological algorithms? At first glance, the speed and precision of its camouflage suggest reflex. Human brains take time to recognize shapes, colors, textures, yet the octopus changes all of this almost instantly. This implies that much of the process is automatic, handled by distributed networks of neurons in its skin and arms, without conscious input from the central brain. But it doesn't end there. Experiments show octopuses can learn to produce specific patterns when trained. They don't just react, they choose. In different situations, hunting, hiding, threatening, they select different camouflage strategies, perfectly suited to the moment. This reveals a higher-level decision layer. Choose the strategy, then let the system execute it automatically. We are witnessing a hybrid form of control. Intention on top, automation below. Not fully conscious like humans, yet not purely reflex. A form of awareness that exists between two worlds. Astonishingly, this model doesn't fit any nervous system we know. The octopus forces science to confront a difficult possibility. Consciousness may not require a single central command center. It can be distributed, layered, and manifest at multiple levels at once. And if that's true, then intelligence and even awareness can exist in forms we have never imagined. If intelligence needs society to emerge, then the octopus should never have been smart. No social groups, no cooperative hunting, no care for its young, no complex communication. Most of its life is spent alone in dark crevices, only meeting others to mate, then separating forever. And that is what sends chills down scientists' spines. Most species we recognize as intelligent rely on society. Primates learn from each other, dolphins hunt together, crows pass knowledge across generations. Society creates cognitive pressure, forcing brains to grow to read, remember, deceive, cooperate. But the octopus has none of this. It evolved intelligence in isolation, no one to copy, no one to learn with. Each individual must solve every survival problem on its own from the start. Its world is a deadly labyrinth. Rocky reefs, hidden caves, swirling currents, predators from every direction. A soft body with no shell means it must think faster than its enemies. Every day is a new series of puzzles. Where to hide, how to escape, what to hunt, where to go. No fixed instinct is safe enough for every situation. Only flexible learning keeps it alive. This leads to a startling conclusion. Society is not the only path to intelligence. When an environment is complex enough and risks are high, intelligence can evolve as a tool for individual survival. The octopus's mind is not shaped by social interaction. It is forged in harsh solitude. And if intelligence can emerge in silence, in darkness, without a community, then one terrifying question follows. How many other forms of intelligence exist beyond what we have ever recognized? Perhaps the scariest thing about the octopus isn't its tentacles or shapeshifting. It's how it shatters our very definition of intelligence. For centuries, humans have measured intelligence by very human standards. Language, abstract logic, complex societies, tools, culture. By that measure, the octopus should be a soft, helpless creature at the bottom of the sea. But reality tells a completely different story. The octopus solves problems without language. It plans without a community. It learns, remembers, and adapts with lightning speed, even though its lifespan is only a few years. Its intelligence doesn't show in words or symbols, it shows in action, in real-world flexibility. When an octopus opens a jar, escapes a tank, or carries a coconut shell to use later, that's not an IQ test, that's intelligence in motion, the kind traditional measures completely miss. This forces science to rethink the question: is intelligence the ability to think like us? Or is it the ability to solve problems in your environment? If it's the latter, the octopus isn't an outlier. It's proof that intelligence can take entirely different forms. Not centralized, not social, not linear. The existence of the octopus shows that intelligence isn't a single peak that humans have reached. It's a parallel branch on the tree of evolution. We rise through community, language, and tools. The octopus rises through dispersion, sensation, and instant adaptation. Two strategies, two ways of thinking. Neither is higher, just different. And that difference forces us to confront a stunning truth. Intelligence may not be rare in the universe. It may simply exist in forms we haven't yet learned to recognize. If the octopus has already turned our understanding of intelligence on Earth upside down, then the idea that intelligence could exist beyond our planet is even more mind-blowing. For centuries, humans have searched for alien life using a pattern like us. Social creatures, complex communication, tool use, language, and culture. Every attempt to detect extraterrestrial signals, radio waves, mathematical patterns, technological structures, assumes that intelligence must look like human intelligence. But the octopus proves that intelligence can take a completely different form. Solitary, distributed, non-linear, and driven purely by the need to adapt to a complex environment. On Earth, a soft-bodied, short-lived, lone creature achieves a level of awareness that amazes us. If intelligence can evolve like that here, imagine what it might look like on a planet with entirely different conditions. We would have no way to predict its shape, its senses, or its behavior. This raises a chilling question. Are there forms of intelligence in the universe that we wouldn't even recognize if we met them? Beings that manipulate their surroundings, learn from experience without society, solve problems in non-linear ways. Would we even know they exist if we measure them by human standards? The octopus is more than a strange creature of Earth. It's a window into cosmic intelligence. It reminds us that intelligence is not humanity's exclusive property. It's an evolutionary solution that could appear anywhere, in ways we cannot imagine. When we think of distant worlds, unexplored planets, octopus-style intelligence forces us to face the truth. The universe could be teeming with forms of awareness beyond our senses, our tools, and our logic. And every time we search, we are only just beginning to knock on the door of the infinite. The octopus is more than a strange creature. It's a living challenge to everything we think we know about intelligence and consciousness. With its distributed body, unique ways of sensing the world, and independently evolved smarts, it shows us a completely new way that a creature can think, learn, and survive. If intelligence can arise in a soft-bodied, solitary animal on Earth, imagine the forms it could take elsewhere in the universe, forms we haven't even dreamed of. Every move, every gesture of the octopus is a clue, a reminder that intelligent life knows no limits and follows no rulebook. Comment 1. if you're ready to dive deeper into the strange, brilliant mysteries of intelligence on Earth and beyond.